Hi friends, we are in the module number 3 energy systems, and under this we are in fuel cells. At the last topic, solid oxide fuel cells. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the solid oxide fuel cell. It is almost similar to the hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. Okay, this you should have studied in a 10th standard, even in second PU syllabus it is there. Okay, and you know the advantages of the fuel cells, right? The advantages of the fuel cells are, the energy rate conversion will be very high for them, and they operate at very silently they operate, and the fuels used here are much expensive sometimes, and the cells have high energy densities, and they produce any harmless byproducts, and recharging the cell is not required like batteries, and maintenance is very less. Okay, these are the some of the advantages of the fuel cells, and these fuel cells are used when instantly more energy is required. Okay, it is completely environmentally or eco-friendly. Most oftenly in these fuel cells, the products obtained will be in a cases of hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, water will be liberated as a product. In the case of methanol oxygen fuel cell, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so all the products are completely harmless, and it will not at all harm the atmosphere or any other living things. Okay, only the thing is the electrodes and some of the fuels are costly sometimes. Okay, that may be the one of the small disadvantage. Okay, like the power output will be moderate, in the sense until we pass the fuel and the oxidant through the anode and cathode electrodes, they will be generating energy. Okay, it's not for a long time like batteries. Whenever instantly large amount of energies are required, we can use this fuel cells. Okay, and here we need to use sometimes inert electrodes. The electrode materials will be costlier, electrodes will be costlier. And one more thing is when we use gaseous fuels, no, they must be under pressure. Okay, when the pressure is reduced, no, the efficiency will be reduced. Okay, that we can say as one more disadvantage. Like when we are using the fuel at home, when it is getting over, what happens, the efficiency will be reduced. It can be observed in a commercial gas cylinders. Okay, at home domestic we may not observe so much. In commercial gas cylinders and all, when the gas level is becoming reduced, no, the efficiency also will be reduced. Like that, here the fuel must be stored under pressure. Okay, when the pressure is reduced, even the efficiency of the fuel cell will be reduced. Okay, this is the typical diagrammatic representation of the solid oxide fuel cell. Here no hydrogen and oxygen are used. Hydrogen is fuel and oxygen is the oxidant. Here it's same like hydrogen oxygen fuel cell. In the typical hydrogen oxygen fuel cell, hydrogen and oxygen are used, and there the KOH electrolyte is used. Okay, here it is differentiated. It is differentiated only due to the here the solid oxide electrolyte is used here. Okay, so it is given separately. Okay, only the difference is electrolyte used here is different, nothing else. Okay, so the reactions will be here. When the hydrogen is reacting with the oxygen, water will be liberated. Okay, with the energy. Fine. So this is one of the advantage where water is not there. When these fuel cells are used, okay, the water can be utilized. Okay, when hydrogen and oxygen are reacting, it is giving energy with the water. The water generated can be utilized. Okay, so in this solid oxide fuel cells, the anode here it is made up of cobalt and zirconium oxide, and the cathode now it will be strontium doped with the LaMnO3. Fine, and here I told you hydrogen is a fuel and the oxidant is oxygen. Okay, and the electrolyte you used here is zirconium oxide ZrO2, which is doped with the yttrium oxide. Zirconium oxide and yttrium oxide electrolyte is used here, solid electrolyte. Okay, just one of the advantages. Like if the electrolyte is in a liquid form, the fuel cell or battery need to be it should be strongly packed, right? Otherwise there is a problem of spilling of the electrolytes. Okay, but in the case of a solid electrolytes, that problem will not be there. Then will never be any problem of a leakage of the electrolyte. That is one of the advantages. even these will be very good conductors like other electrolytes. Okay, no problem with this. Okay, only the thing is like it is advantageous compared to the other liquid electrolytes. Okay, there are chances of spilling or leakage of the electrolytes. As the electrolyte here is in the solid form, there will not be any problem of spilling or leakage problems will be there. I think it's clear. Very simple. Hydrogen is used as a fuel and oxygen as a oxidant here, and the anode is made up of cobalt and zirconium oxide here, and the cathode is made up of LaMnO3. Okay, electrolyte used here is a mixture of zirconium oxide and yttrium oxide. Fine. And the reactions, coming to the cell reactions, okay, hydrogen will be reacting with the oxygen to give water with the energy. Okay, this is about the fuel cell. Fine. Coming to the advantages parts, since all the components are solid, least maintenance is required. Okay, there is no leakage will be there. Okay, so no need to maintenance problems and all. Least maintenance required, and electrode corrosion is eliminated as it operates at a high temperatures. Okay, as it is operating under high temperatures. Okay, there is no problem of the corrosion. Maybe if it is working at a lower temperatures, maybe there will be a problem of getting corrosion of the metal part used. Here that problem is not there, and here no harmful byproducts are generated during operation, so it is eco-friendly or environmentally friendly. And coming to the disadvantages of this fuel cell, high cost and fabrication. Okay, the electrolytes and the fuel materials will be sometimes costlier. Okay, and the fuels used must be free from sulfur. Okay, free from sulfur, and it must be under pressure. Okay, sulfur means if any impurities are present in the fuel, it will be decreasing the efficiency of the fuel. So the fuel used in the fuel cells must be completely pure. It should not contain any impurities like sulfur or nitrogen. And applications of this fuel cells are, it is used in the power systems of vehicles, trains, ships and all, and electric supply for residential and industrial utilities. Once again, the general application for the fuel cells are wherever the energy is more energy is required for short time, most oftenly the fuel cells are used. Okay, so this is the end of this chapter. Last topic was left out, so that was over. I think it's clear. Okay, so we'll be meeting with the new topic shortly. Until then, thank you.